Welcome back. We don't know tutors. Hope you had a very Merry Christmas. We're rocking out to our Christmas music recommendations. And based on our recommendations, I'm positive you did have a great Christmas. We're back again with our top recommendations from the entire year, top releases from the entire year of 2023. I'm one of your hosts, Steven Schultz, and joining with me is my co-host, Rob Schultz. Say what up.
What up?
How was your Christmas listening to my music recommendations, Rob?
Your music recommendations are pretty good. Like I said, I'm not, well, I didn't say it, but I'm not a fan of some of these.
Oh,
Edit that out.
yeah.
Spoiler alert.
The who?
But yeah, I'm not like a huge fan of some of the bands that you told me about, but I did give them a fair shake. So
Yeah, I had kind of the same experience with you because definitely like we have a lot of similar music, but then like when we have the non-similar, we're very non-similar.
very different. Yeah,
Music.
very opposite ends of the spectrum.
Right on. All right. How about I kick us off with we're giving you our top 5 albums for the entire year that released in 2023. Okay, so I'm starting at number 5.
Also, before we get into this, fun fact: we are in the same room for the first time ever.
We get to stare deep into each other's eyes as we talk about this music. You will be able to feel this connection through the earbuds or whatever you're listening on.
And it's very different. It's I can already tell this is like a whole different like feel to this.
Yeah. So once we make it big, we'll move out to LA, as most podcasters do, and
I think that's law.
yeah, we'll be in the same room every day, so it's fine.
But until then,
Working towards that.
we get one room once every year. We get to be in the same room. So
Yeah, and that's also by law, unfortunately. All right.
for different reasons. But yeah, jumping into, we're picking our favorite top 5 albums. Each of us are picking our favorite top 5 albums that released in 2023. So you said you wanted to go first?
Yeah, I'll start us off. I got my number 5 is a band called Twin XL. Was this a new band for you? I think
No, I know I've heard them before. I know I've listened, because I know you've played them in Music League, and I know you have probably put a song or two in a playlist here and there.
I played Neon Summer in Music League.
I remember that.
Yeah, so they tour. They're like, I don't know. So the band, the Mowgli's maybe.
Yeah. Because they had that one big, really popular, like, are they the Best Day of My Life band? They had one really big song a couple years ago.
Yeah, they have a couple of really popular songs. I can't remember which big song it was, but so the Mowgli's and then a band that Alyssa and I like, Jukebox the Ghost. I'm sure you've heard.
I've definitely heard a lot of their music.
And then they were touring together.
I'm good as the.
That's right. Yeah. So I don't know what style of music you would call those bands.
Pop rock.
Pop rock, yeah. But they were on tour together, and Twin XL opened, and I had like loosely listened to them. Their show was actually super fun. That helps shows like real good vibes. Like everyone's like happy with it. So it was actually a pretty fun show. But Twin XL opened for them, so I started listening to them, and so they've got like that real pop rock, and it definitely like airs more to the side of pop. So, but their new album Hyperphantasia just came out. I think it was like the summer, and it's a solid album. My top pick from it is they've got a song called Lemonade on it. So if you guys are into like that pop rock, that's definitely more towards the pop, but it has guitars in it and whatnot, give Twin XL Hyperphantasia a listen. It's just it's overall just kind of more of like that poppy, like light sound.
They really like listening to them. I was just like constantly reminded of who's the hand clap people? Fits in the Tantrums. They're very Fits in the Tantrums inspired, or very adjacent to that.
Yeah, so if you look on their Spotify, like 4 of their top 5 songs are from this album. Oh, yeah. So they were like, when I first started listening to them, they had like, I think it was like, they had like maybe 2,000 monthly listeners or something like that.
Really, that's it?
It was super low.
They were bigger than that.
So I mean, maybe, but because I went to, what was that round in the Music League where it was like they had to have under a certain amount of.
It was under 100,000.
Oh, so they still have that, but which is surprising, yeah, because I mean, I don't know. I guess I never hear their music anywhere else other than mixes Spotify makes for me.
Fair.
So, but they're a solid band. I am still surprised because their music is like they keep a consistent sound, and it stays very good, and they're consistently releasing new music like every other year, every year. So
yeah. I remember, and I wish I would have kept track or like remembered, but I remember listening through this album and remember one song that was like, it wasn't like a breakdown. It was like a Twin XL's version of a breakdown, but I would remember hearing it. I was like, oh, that's jammable.
Might have been Upgrade. That's the other one I really like from that album. But I would have to go through and listen to the entire thing, and I've got a 4-hour drive later today, so maybe I will. And a flight,
however many hour flight. So yeah,
so I'll give them a listen, and then we'll report back to you what the heck Rob's talking about. But there you go. That's my number 5 release of the year, Hyper Fantasia by PXL.
It's one of the ones where we're on opposite ends of this.
Yep. Yeah, I knew when I was picking that, I'm like, but it was a good album, but I also wanted to pick it to give some biodiversity to my playlist.
All right, well, then in that case, my number 5, this is about as diverse as it gets from the rest of my picks, but my number 5 is going to be Skrillex's Quest for Fire. We reviewed it on this show. We reviewed both of his new albums.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, like throughout the year, like I'd be listening to like day lists or like whatever playlist, the Spotify DJ or something that would like recommend music to me, and like songs from that album would keep coming up. It's like, oh yeah, this is a good song. So like, I guess it was one of those albums that had to like grow on me.
Yeah, I did not come up in my playlist or anything, so it didn't really grow on me that much. I know, like, didn't this one kind of surprise us that it came out because we went to review what his other release?
Yeah, we totally didn't even realize that.
Yeah,
we're there.
Yeah, so I don't know. I liked Rat-a-Tata.
Really, Rat-a-tat?
Like, it's just kind of like
that one.
It's just kind of like a cool background vibe, but like it's just overall it was not. I'll be honest, I didn't get a chance to totally re-listen to the album, and Rat-a-Tata is like halfway through. So that was. I know there was one I liked.
That was one I didn't like at the start, like when we first reviewed it, and coming back to it and re-listening to the whole album, I still didn't.
Did you know he had a new song out, a new single where he collabed with Flodan and Lil Baby? It's just some British dude rapping.
I did not know that. Well, Lil Baby's not British, is he?
Well, whoever the rapper is.
Flodan must be.
Whoever the rapper is. It's just basically like, in it, footy, chips.
No, it's not sound. I was gonna say that's that sounds horrible.
No, but it actually was okay. It's not like, I know it definitely matched the Quest for Fire vibe a little.
You said that Rat-a-tat was halfway through. It is the second song on the album.
Oh yeah, so there you go.
But yeah, I liked. I mean, the one that I liked at the start was Supersonic. I remember telling you if you're gonna enjoy one song, it'd probably be that one. But coming back to it, there were quite a few, like Hydrate, Inhale, Exhale, Rumble. Honestly, like the whole album, like I was listening on my drive up here, and like the whole album is like a great, just like you said, like a background noise or like a something to have while you're working or driving or something like that. So it's not like as like iconic as like Scary Monsters, Nice Sprites, but I did really like this album as far as I mean, it's not a disappointment from Skrillex. I'll say that.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I mean, I remember when we listened to it, I wanted to go back and listen to our podcast. I just did not have time.
Yeah.
Because I cannot listen to podcasts while doing like anything I need to focus on, because I just tend to focus on the podcast.
Yep.
So I wanted to go back and hear what my thoughts were last time, because that was a while ago we did that podcast. We're coming up on a year here, folks.
We are, dude. This album came out in February, so this was probably like our second episode.
Yeah. All right. Well, solid pick. All right. My number 4 album is a band that like we talked about on another podcast, because I was like, yeah, because they're like that classic rock, and you're like, they're not, because they have that sound. Greta Van Fleet, they had a new album called Starcatcher. I just like started listening. I listened to them a little bit when we talked about that podcast, but then I was hanging out with some people, and the one guy was talking about how he went to their concert and he was playing their music, and I was like, man, I really need to give them a listen to. So I've been going through Greta Van Fleet, because they feel like they've like the song I picked from it, Runway Blues, like it just feels like, and a lot of this album feels like that old classic rock that would be
they've always given me that vibe. Like when I first heard them, like I was like, this is like AC/DC kind of sound. But like, listening to this album, I got like super Rolling Stones vibes. Like because I had it in playing while I was at work, and I don't like know these songs. So like I'd be listening to the song and then forget who I'm listening to. I'm like, oh, this must be Rolling Stones, and it was not. It was Greta Van Fleet 2023.
Yeah, like if you played Runway Blues and told me, hey, that's off of like an AC/DC album, and like I didn't totally know AC/DC that well, I'd be like, okay,
yeah.
Like I honestly would. It's I'll give you. I will say it's like one of those like it's like a minute and a half long the song is, but like it just starts off. It makes me want to drive fast. It's got like a sick old rock sound, and it's like the beat's awesome. So like I recommend the whole album. I really do. Like it definitely does have Rolling Stones. I like that analogy. Recommend the whole album. But Runway Blues was just I'm like upset it's not longer. I'm like that's sounds fantastic. So Greta Van Fleet, Starcatcher for sure.
Yeah, I know because like I said, I was listening to it at work, so I know if I listened to it a little more intentionally, I know I'd end up saving some of those songs. Cause it was jammable.
Yeah. So, all right, you're number 4, Rob.
Number 4 for me is going to be, and once again, an album that we reviewed already, but Fall Out Boy, So Much for Stardust. And I think maybe just my love for Fall Out Boy made this crack the top 5.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, like, not all those songs are that great, but going back, like, I remember saying this when we first reviewed the album, but when we listened to that album for that podcast episode, I remember like after that album was done, I went back and listened to a bunch of the old Fall Out Boy because it wasn't exactly like that old Fall Out Boy sound, but it scratched that surface at least.
Yeah,
it was reaching that sound. So I remember going back and listening to the old ones because of how the So Much for Stardust sounded. But this much later into the year, I think some of these songs still hold up.
Yeah, I was listening through it. I'm like, you know what? Not bad. Like, I'm still happy with it. Like, I remember same thing where I was just like, oh, this is because basically I just assumed it's gonna be garbage just because of Fall Out Boy, but
just because of what they've done recently.
Yes, recent Fall Out Boy. If you listen to our podcast, you know I am very much I love old Fall Out Boy.
You're a Fall Out Boy.
But like, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, just the relief of listening to it, being like, okay, it's not as terrible. They're at least regressing back to their old music.
I didn't realize they had added their cover of "We Didn't Start the Fire" to this album.
I think they just had that as a single.
I know, but looking at it now, it's in the album.
Oh, they did add it. Oh,
they added it to this album for some reason.
Interesting.
I mean, that was terrible. That's a terrible song to start with.
I've never liked that song.
Such an annoying song.
Not good. But it was like
good ideas, like making it using curves.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that bad. I'm not a fan of the original song, but I didn't think that was that bad. But I saw a lot of like when it first came out, I saw a ton of TikToks about it. Like everyone was like, it seemed like it got really popular. How many listeners does it have? Can you see?
I don't know. I'm just looking at it in the album.
Oh, but I thought it got pretty.
It's not top 5. Luckily the OG songs are still holding down the top 5.
Very good. Very good. Well, Centuries is OG-ish,
but I'm never sugar. We're going down Dance Dance, and well, my song Snow is also not super OG, but more OG than that.
Yeah, that song broke the world when it came out. It felt like too.
I guess I'm not on TikTok, so I guess I don't know.
Well, I mean,
really on TikTok, but I don't.
When I say TikTok, I just mean Instagram Reels. I never scroll TikTok, but I scroll Instagram Reels heavily, way too much.
I didn't see it on Instagram at all.
Yeah. So your top pick from that album? What do you? Mine, I'm still a fan of Love from the Other Side. They usually like use their best songs for like the first song of the album, right? Because that's what they release as.
Yeah.
So, and I think that was the best one on the album. I actually really like the song, not just it's the best they have.
Yeah. I liked that one. Let me see here. I'm looking back at my notes. Where is it? I guess I deleted that one. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I still liked. I liked Heaven, Iowa. I liked the Star-Crossed Love Us.
Oh yeah,
I remember
good.
liking that one on the first one, but the guitar solo and everything, I think that one's it's still at the top.
Yeah, that I like that. That one's good too. I'll give them that. Because they did have some old Fall Out Boy sounding songs in there. I wouldn't say that's old sounding Fall Out Boy, but it's still like a good new sound at least.
Yeah,
like it's not just
like, and they did have a couple of those songs on that album that had that like Disney Channel type energy to it. So that,
yeah,
like, that's why I kind of hesitated to put it in my top 5. But I think then my love for Fall Out Boy just helped.
Yeah,
get there.
That's why I didn't put it in my top 5. I'm like the next 3 albums that I have, like I liked, like there weren't any songs on here where I was like, that's really, really dumb.
Yeah,
Like there were plenty of songs that were just like, that's okay. But there were plenty on Fall Out Boys that where I was like, yeah, that song sucks. Like that's dumb.
yeah.
So,
But love for Fall Out Boy just helped.
Yeah.
It.
nice. Yeah, they should feel honored though, based on since they've been listening to this whole podcast, I'm sure they've heard us put their new stuff on blast. So the fact that they made your top of 2023, that means that they're doing something right.
They're still cooking.
Take the notes we're giving you, Fall Out Boy, and use them in the next album that you release, titled "We Don't Know Toots," in memoriam.
The album,
featuring Steven and Rob, where it's
because they're definitely going to sample this podcast.
Yeah,
That's why they sampled Ethan Hawke on that album, talking about his dad dying.
Yeah. See, that's what we need. That's how we know it. That would be so cool, dude. Imagine.
That's the pinnacle. That's the goal.
That would be like my answering machine. Be like, hi, you reached Steven. You may recognize me from this. And then I just hold the recording up to them and like, that's me on a Fall Out Boy song. Leave a message. That'd be awesome. All right. Number 3 was a song, or was a band that me and you both like. And I know you like this album too. Broadside, Hotel Blue. I don't know if I set you mine in order, but I redid the order.
I've noticed that you redid the order. Just a little bit. They have all been out of order so far.
I was just kind of like, oh man, I don't like that order anymore. So I switched it up. But Broadside is at number 3. Hotel Bleu. It was tough. Honestly, I was listening through it. It was tough to kind of pick songs that I like a lot. So the one that I kind of picked, I think, for the best was Bang. Yeah. So they had like a cool line in there. I don't know if it's sacrilegious or not, but it says, praying that whiskey Jesus saves my life. I'm like, that sounds cool. I like that line. So that one's really good, especially like jamming in the car, because it's like the verse kind of builds up to the chorus, and the chorus just starts off with that bang bang. Yeah, it's the Reapers at my door, that one. So like that's a really good jammable one. But I will say I like Dazed and Confused, just for the sake of it. Gives me that old kind of pop punk love song kind of jam. So if you're not like people that don't like pop punk, like this is the song that they don't like in pop punk.
Yes.
But people that do like pop punk, like this is pretty, like, 15, 16-year-old Steven would love Dazed and Confused.
Oh yeah,
sure.
That's the kind of music that got me into them, to be honest.
Yeah, so like definitely recommend.
Because now they have like, I mean, they're still making great music, and now it's just a little more like, I don't know, melodic. Maybe is that the word I'm looking for?
Yeah, it's definitely got a
pretty kind of a little sadder too, a little sadder sound.
Yeah,
definitely not as pop punk.
Yeah,
the one I liked off that album was How to Love, How to Lie. Where you're drowning in nostalgia, or you're hard to breathe when you're drowning in nostalgia.
Oh yeah.
I love that. The whole chorus to that song is very good.
Yeah, like I think their writing was just good this album. Like there's definitely like, it's like I've got other albums on here that it's not like as good of writing as those albums, but I liked just their lyrics to a lot of their songs. They did a good job.
Yeah.
So I had Cruel on my list too. That's another one. If you guys are just this album, it really was hard for me to pick a top one. Like they all had some good songs on here. So, but yeah, so Hotel Bleu, that's how it's pronounced.
And the other one that I liked was the One Last Time. That was one that they released as a single.
Yeah.
Way back before this album came out.
Oh yeah.
That's a good sad song about, your last chance to love.
And that was like that. Yeah, that was another one where I thought about putting on my list because I just like the sound of the chorus. That back where we want it, back when we want it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's another good one. See that? Good. I honestly thought you might have that on your list because I sent it to you and we were listening to it like at the same time, and she texted me like, "This album's pretty good."
Yeah, to be honest, I kind of forgot about it, but I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have forgot about it.
That's all right. That way we have a more diverse recommendation for.
We don't want a crossover. We don't need a crossover episode.
Exactly. I mean, we made it through the Christmas episode without a crossover.
Surprise.
Which was a miracle, a Christmas miracle, a true Christmas. So now I think we're gonna have a New Year's miracle too, which is fairly common as well. So, all right. So that's my next recommendation. Number 3 spot, Broadside Hotel Bleu. Yeah, Bang if you want to go, some good rock, and then
Energy.
Dazed and Confused if you want love.
Some living. All right. Number 3 for me is going to be an album. To be honest, because of this band, I wouldn't have expected this album to be top 3 for me because I've never been a huge fan. I just like a lot of their songs. But The Surface by Beartooth, the whole album all around, dude. I have almost all of them saved. I have almost every song saved, and I was listening to this album on repeat when it came out. And I saw I watched a couple of the music videos on YouTube as well, and I saw a lot of hate, this isn't heavy enough. Why is Beartooth going so soft? But they're not listening to the whole album if they're saying that, because a lot of Riptide is really heavy. Down Me has a great breakdown.
Yeah.
It's kind of basic. It's just a little simple hi-hat beat, and but it's really good. Better Me has Hardy in it, which he's this country star, but he does a lot. He did a song with Jeremy McKinnon from A Day to Remember. Jeremy McKinnon was on his album. I love that song. So he's the country hard rock crossover superstar right now. Might Love Myself wasn't a super heavy song, but I really like those lyrics. And then Skipping Down, I mean, all the songs are great, but I Was Alive is a super, it's definitely a softer song, but it's such a great song about just living the life you love and dying without regrets. And that music video, super moving.
Oh yeah,
the music video gave me goosebumps.
Dude, there are songs where the music video is one of the reasons I like
it's important to
Wrong Side of Heaven or Righteous Side of Hell.
Yeah,
that music video. I mean, that's still a solid song by Five Finger Death Punch. Still a solid song with the music video. And then, oh man, it's Losing Myself by State Champs. I said, always remember with the water part, dude. That song always gives me summer vibes. That's why, and I love the song because of that music video. I love that music video too. It's just partying in a water park. It's awesome.
Yeah. Well, then watch the music video for I Was Alive.
Yeah. How did you feel about Sunshine? Because that's the one I wrote down.
It was so that was one that it came across my Discover Weekly before the album, because I think that was one of their singles. It's heavy.
Yeah,
but it was not my favorite off the album. I don't have it saved.
I liked it. Oh, okay, that's so. Oh, you saved most of the album, and the one I picked is
well. Fair enough. It's just the jump back and forth between acoustic and then the thrash metal, or I don't know if you'd call it thrash metal, but just really headbanging metal. I mean, it's a good song, but
I was. You mentioned Down Me, and I was gonna talk about Down Me because I'm I like the breakdown, but it was even though it's kind of a basic breakdown, I like the breakdown. Dalby and Riptide were the two that I was actually almost going to write down, but I chose Sunshine, and I chose Wrong.
I know Riptide was a single Riptide came in as a single well over a year ago, because I remember listening to it when I was cleaning your car for your wedding. I was listening to it.
Wow.
So that's been out for a minute. They just finally released the album this year, I guess.
But yeah, this felt like a good workout playlist though, honestly. There were a lot of songs where I'm this is
that's what I'm saying. How are people in there complaining that it's not heavy? Yeah, because they have clean vocals every other song.
They're I can't I can understand the music, not heavy enough. I want people to look at me and go, how do you listen to this? That's how I get my validation.
And the thing is, I don't know my Beartooth for that much, but I know Caleb Sholo, the lead singer, and I imagine he's the songwriter. He has been struggling with drug abuse for a long time, and he's finally turning his life around and getting clean. So
that's good.
He's writing music that reflects that, and it's, I guess, irritating people.
Yeah, well, it's people love you when you're miserable.
Exactly. What does DJ Khaled say? They don't want to see you win.
Yeah.
Watch out for they.
Or what's that? There's like that quote where it's just like you'll die while you're the hero, or live long enough to see yourself become the villain or whatever. That's Beartooth, baby.
Batman, dude.
Batman.
Bat-tooth, dude. Crossover episode.
Who was Beartooth? That Silvertooth. Beartooth and Silverstein always did that collab. They would, Warp. They would have like Beartooth tent and Silverstein tent, and then they have a Silvertooth tent right in the middle of them.
I remember that.
They had, I can't believe you forgot. Like they would go on the Warp Tour on the stages as Silvertooth sometimes.
What?
Like they would do like a song or two together.
That memory has completely left my mind.
Oh yeah, I thought that was like the coolest thing. Like it's like two best buds. Like that's awesome. Yeah. So those are two bands that I'm like I listened to them because they were at Warp Tours that we were at.
Yeah.
But never got totally into them. But I was like, man, I really wish I was super into both those bands because that would just be the coolest thing for me. If like
I've definitely gotten more into Beartooth since Warp Tour died and Silverstein. I'm not as into Silverstein, but slowly getting into them as well.
Yeah.
I've saved a couple of their songs recently.
Nice. I need to go back and listen to them because I had a lot of not a lot, but I had several Silverstein songs. But like I was just looking at like when I went to listen to Beartooth, I was just like, oh man, there's several Beartooth albums that I have not listened to. Like the last one I listened to would be that 2016 Aggressive one with the half wolf, half guy.
Yeah,
that's the last one.
Yeah, so Disease from 2018. That's a pretty solid album. I got a couple of those songs saved.
Yeah, so I just need to spend more time going back and re-listening to music. I just we'll just pull up day lists and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and hope that gives me my stuff. But all right, solid pick, Rob. Solid pick. All right, I'm giving at number 2 one that you told me about because I was like, man, like I said, like I just kind of listen to day lists, and I also doesn't register with me that this is a new album or something like that. I just add songs and don't listen to albums. So you gave me this one to listen to. You gave me like a list. Trophy Eyes, their Suicide Sunshine.
I was
very good album.
To number 2 for you.
I almost put it at number 1, dude. I loved this album. Yeah,
I don't really think this was your kind of music all that much with all the screamy vocals and all that.
Yeah, like that's the thing. So my top pick from this album is Life in Slow Motion. It starts off with screaming.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of screaming, and I'm not a fan of this screaming. I really don't like the screaming where it like starts off, where it's screaming with no music in the back.
Yeah,
it's just some guy screaming. It starts off for the first few seconds. They're like, ugh, but like the screaming, it's fine. I can get past that. The song is fantastic. Like I love the slow start, and like they hit that drop, and it's just like all the instrumentals go in, and like I love his voice when he's like, when he first starts singing, there's not really much sound. He's just that hold on, like he's got a bit like that raspy rocky voice. I love that set vocal sound too. Like that's a very good song. So absolutely, Trophy Eyes, Life in Slow Motion. Like even if you don't like screaming or anything, just like you gotta wait like 20-25 seconds and then listen to the rest of the song. It's a fantastic song. It's got that new like super dramatic instrumental and vocals sound that I've been getting into this past year, like, and that definitely has it for sure.
What other songs did you like off there?
Oh man, let me pull up the album so I can.
I really like my favorite one off that album was what hurts the most, about like friends that grow apart. Yeah, it's a sad song, but it's one of those ones that almost feels happy in a way. But if you listen to the lyrics, it's like what hurts the most is. Let me look at the lyrics again. I already misquoted one song. What would you think if you saw me now? Don't feel like I've changed till I think about when we were brothers and we had it all figured out.
Nice.
Man, dude. That hurts. Yeah. I mean, everyone loses friends as they grow up. So like, it's just like, what would my friends think about me? Like how would it go if we like saw each other again?
Yeah. I liked, I OMW, so I assume it's On My Way.
Yeah, it was.
But that's just got a good flow to the music. Like the chorus, I like how it, I don't know how to describe it. Like I don't know Toots, and I don't have a deep like vocabulary to give it a beautiful, eloquent description.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, just a fun song to listen to. Good. I just like it. I listened to Trophy Eyes back when they were I don't. Was that 2017 Warped Tour that they were?
I don't remember them going to Warped. You told me they were at Warped Tour, and because when I told you recently that I've been getting into Trophy Eyes, you're like, oh, I'm surprised you aren't into them because they were at Warped Tour back then.
Oh,
I just don't remember.
So I remember I worked at Alley's, and so I would work like full shifts by myself. So I remember I would like heavily go through Warped Tour playlists when they would announce the lineup, and so I know that's when I was listening to Trophy Eyes was during the summer at Alley's. So I'm pretty sure it's because they were going to be, or they might have not been at a Warped Tour that we went to because there would be those bands that just wouldn't come randomly.
Yeah.
So
I believe it.
But like, so I remember listening to them, man, this is not totally my vibe. But then I went and listened to this album. I was like, dang, this whole album goes like is super good. So I need to go back through and listen to their old stuff and remember, because I know they had like one or two songs where I was like, yeah, that's all right. So
the American Dream album, it's like a red one with the folded up money on fire.
Yeah, I don't even,
that album is a banger from start to finish.
See, I don't even,
great album.
Yeah, I didn't listen to that if it wasn't during Warped Tour song. So Chemical Miracle is the one I remember.
Okay, yeah, there's some good ones on there too.
Yeah, so I need to go back through and give them a listen. 'Cause I don't remember them, because honestly, I barely remember the music. Or do they have like some screamy throughout them? Maybe that's why I didn't like them that much.
Yeah, Men Move On. That album has a good bit of screaming. I mean, this as much screaming as this album does. Suicide and Sunshine.
Yeah, well, I still.
If you said the name of the album, Suicide and Sunshine.
Yeah. Okay. But I do have a couple in my regular James playlist, some songs with some screaming, so I can get into it. It's just like
the gateway drug, dude. That's how it starts. Look at me now.
That's how it started for me for the past like 4 or 5 years. Like it hasn't. You've got an album coming up here where it's like, or you have 2 albums. Like one definitely though, where I was like, haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, it started with We Came as Romans back in the day.
Oh, and then, yeah. I wanted to like them so bad because I was like a young kid. I'm like, you know how cool I would be if I was screaming.
But that was like it wasn't even a foot in the door. It was like a toe in the door because it stayed only them. I still swore off like screaming for the longest time. And then like I dated a girl that introduced me to Beartooth. I was like, okay, yeah. And then right around that time, I remember really getting into that, what's that Breathe Carolina song that would Sellouts?
Yeah, that's one of the ones in my
playlist. I think that song actually has the guy from Beartooth on it, if I remember correctly.
Oh, it might. I've got it.
It's featuring someone.
Yeah, that is
Danny Worsnop.
Okay.
He might be the guy. He might be the screamer.
That guy. Yeah. So I'm not like, that would be honestly, man, of all these songs, like Life in Slow Motion, though, of all the songs I'm picking from each album, that's probably my favorite out of all the albums I picked. So
which one is?
The Life in Slow Motion by Trophy Eyes.
That's your favorite?
Of all the songs I've recommended, yeah.
Oh, the song is, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so, like, I definitely, I am straight feeling it, man.
A quick Google search reveals that Danny Worsnop is from Asking Alexandria. I don't know why. I thought it was the guy from...
Similar vibes.
Anyways.
So, but there you go.
All right, yeah, that's
what I got for that, yeah.
All right, so number 2, and I imagine this is the one that you hated the most. It is Fatalism by Polaris.
Yeah.
I love Polaris. I just got into them this year, and
you've brought them up on the show a couple of times.
Oh yeah. I know they were in my Spotify Wrapped.
Yeah, and
like as a band and a song.
That's when I went and listened to him, and so I'd already listened to some of this album because I'm like, man, this is one of his top bands, and I don't know if it was wasn't it your top song?
Yeah. Well, not off this album, but yeah, one of their
songs was. So I was like, man, this is his top song. I'm gonna go give it a listen. And I was just like,
you didn't like that one?
No, I didn't.
I thought that one would be a little bit middle of the road.
Yeah. Sorry, dear bud.
Because my favorite song off of Fatalism was Parasites, and that one is just it's just so brutal.
Yeah,
I love it so much.
Like I wrote that one down because I was like, you must have added it to the workout playlist.
I probably did.
So I'm like, I've worked out to this song for sure. So like, this is not my vibe.
When this album came out, I found it when I got home from work. So I was getting in the shower and that song came out. I was like, oh my God, just flinging water everywhere.
Yeah,
throwing my back out trying to headbang.
That's some good showering. It got dirtier the way it went in.
Oh yeah, I was sweatier than when I started. Is there any songs you did like?
No, not for
you didn't like With Regards.
I gotta
pretty good.
I gotta remember With Regards.
That's the one that's like far away. I hope this letter finds you well and safe.
Yeah,
I'll never understand the things you faced, the paths you had to take.
I remember listening to it.
Soft.
Yeah, I was gonna say I remember it being one of the softer ones, but I don't know. It's just like this. I listened to most of their music when you had it on your Spotify Wrapped. Because I'm always like needing new music. That's why I do the day list and stuff so much. But I'm sorry,
I'm sure a lot of their music has popped up for you in our blend.
Yeah. Yes.
Because I know for a while the Over My Head was in there because I listened to it a lot this past year.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry to offend you, but
it does not offend me. You should. I also thought you would like Overflow. Like I thought that one wasn't too bad. And I mean, it's a little bit heavy, but Where Do I Shelter When It's Raining Inside? And then it gets like into the breakdown. But
yeah,
again, it's like those are the songs that are kind of like as heavy as Beartooth, you know, like they got the mix, the vocals and the screams.
Yeah, I think Beartooth, I don't know, I like their like screaming a little better. I will say, and I think they've got a little less screaming, so that's how I can.
Yeah, they do, and it's not like as brutal screaming. Like there's different kinds of screaming.
Yeah,
like Beartooth is almost like a yelling scream. Polaris has like that guttural growling scream.
Yeah. Overflow's all right. I'll say that. Like it's all right. But yeah, it just wasn't my cup of tea.
Yeah, I knew it would be, but it wasn't.
It's kind of like when I said Twin XL. Like I knew that was not going to be. You were not going to have many. This was a banger. It's cool enough of it. So all right, but I'll give you that good workout music. I was listening to it. I was like, I mean, man, I'm feeling. I guess your last, because I know what your last album is. Your last 3 albums were all like, oh, man, I could work out to most of these songs.
Yeah. I remember I had a coworker once. I showed, I don't even remember what song it was, but I know it was, I think it was a song by, what's that really heavy Christian band? Phineas.
Oh, they're a Christian band?
Yeah.
I didn't know they were a Christian
band. Well, because my coworker is a Christian, I was like, check this out.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is the kind of stuff I like to work out to. She's like, oh, like, she's like, this just makes it like, how do you work out to this? Like, I feel like you just like, and she like does this barbell motion. She's like, I feel like you just go really fast. I'm like, yes,
that's working out.
That's the point. She's like, oh yeah.
What does she have to do when she works out?
Apparently not stuff that motivates you.
Huey Lewis,
audiobooks,
Nick from New Girl. When I work out, which isn't often, I like to listen to Huey Lewis because it pumps me up, not ironically. Yeah. Well, yeah, good workout jam for sure.
For sure.
All right. I think we're moving on. We're going to top 5s, which we're on my number 1. Yeah.
All right, top 1. Yeah.
All right, my number 1. I kind of thought this would make your list as well. Was Blink-182's album.
Yeah.
Like, this was another one. I only wrote down like the one song that I had for like my favorite, but which was I don't know if I said Blink-182 one more time, that album, their new album.
Yeah.
When We Were Young just gave me like that old pop punk vibe. Like, so I was here for this album for sure. Like because we talked about like they released like 3 of these songs, I think. But
yeah, it came out as an EP at first.
Yeah. So when they released it, I was good with all songs. I know the one I said was which one was it was the Dance With Me. I know that wasn't like my my favorite, Dance With Me, because it's that ole 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 ole. But like I was just listening to this album again, and I was like, that song's actually super fun.
Really? I still didn't like. Still couldn't warm up to that one.
I was feeling it a bit more. I don't know, but I picked When We Were Young because of the old pop punk vibe, but I was almost gonna pick Anthem Part 3, which is like the Anthem Brothers of the album.
Great, yeah.
Yeah, that's a fantastic song. But I'm like, I didn't want to pick another first song on the album because I'm like, no, I have to show that I actually listened to the album.
I realized looking back that I probably should have put this album on instead of So Much for Stardust, because like I honestly hadn't really given this a listen through since we reviewed it.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I was listening to it the other day, I was like, wow, this is Like, I liked this so much better than I remember.
Yeah, well, because when we reviewed it, it was just 4 songs.
I thought we did the whole song, didn't we? Or the whole album?
No, they didn't have the whole album. That's why I went to.
Maybe you're right.
I went to look at because we did the Blink-182, Sum 41, and someone else out with one.
Yeah, you're right. Knucklepuck, I think.
And Neck Deep also.
Oh yeah, it was Neck Deep.
And yeah, so because we were like, of all the little EP releases that happened that week,
Yeah,
Blink-182, yeah. Because I went and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go check out that because I was gonna use it even if it was an EP. I was gonna use it as one of my top albums because it was just really good.
Okay, I guess that explains why I like this so much better. Because
Dude, like it has a lot of really like of their old sound.
yeah,
Like I'm not gonna say it's got like their like super old sound because like when you get really far back into like Dude Ranch and that, like, I mean,
they were like 18.
Yeah, like
can't expect.
Yeah, I'm not gonna expect that either.
Yeah,
but like it's got like a lot of that take off your pants and jacket and New State and stuff like that. It's not California. It's better than California, which is very good.
I mean, not that California didn't have any good songs, but this is definitely not like best.
Yeah, like they definitely, like Fall Out Boy, just started to regress back to their old stuff. And
yes, thankfully,
I love this album, and so deservedly at my top.
Time is still just a heart-wrenching, like in the middle of old sounding Blink where you just want to rock out and drink.
That's there. It's a soft one that definitely is like a great. Edging also that's what gives
very classic.
that gives me class. The fact is
Just call edging to begin with. Classic.
well they start one dance with me or one more time with every time we teach masturbation or whatever. I tell people to have fun with. Yeah. So like they definitely were going back to old Blink. So absolutely, Blink-182 one more time, whole album, like start to. I didn't take notes of any ones that I said were bad. Maybe I should have, but I don't remember there being anywhere I was like, this sucked.
Yeah.
So like a jam.
I mean, I still wasn't like a fan of the Ole Ole Ole.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
But like,
didn't feel great to me.
But if it came up in like a day list, I wouldn't like skip it halfway through because I'm like, this sucks. Like it's definitely still one that you would listen to all the way, and I like it. Like it's
so maybe in hindsight, I should have put Blink on instead of Fall Out Boy. I did actually almost remove Fall Out Boy for someone else entirely that I doubt you even listened to, but there's the girl screamer Spirit Box.
Yeah, I know him, but yeah.
So I was making that decision too late, and I was sticking with my guns.
All right, nice. All right, so your top album,
my album is Dogma by Crownly and
I like their name. I don't know why. Of the album Dogma.
I don't know what a dogma is. I think I looked it up when this album first came out, and I forget what it is by now. But yeah, that whole album. Speaking of Spirit Box, In Another Life featuring Courtney LaPlante.
Oh, that's her. Oh, okay, yeah. Nice.
But yeah, this whole album, start to finish, another album that I just kept on repeat for like a week or two.
I had several No Film Shovel songs. I wanted to hear your top ones to see if any lined up for me.
I think my top one back then when it came out, and still is my top one, is Black Sheep. I really liked Black Sheep. It's not on my list. I had it's pretty heavy and very screamy.
I did like this album though, like absolutely. Very good album. Like the ones that were like just started off screamy and held like stayed screamy definitely were not.
I also really liked Immortalize. I liked Immortalized, Modified, and Black Sheep were like my top three.
I was Mortified.
I figured it would like Superstar because it has this lead singer from Palais Royale on it.
Modified.
No, Superstar.
No. I thought you said Mortified.
Oh,
okay, gotcha. Which Superstar?
Yeah, Superstar has the lead singer from.
Nice. I've got that one on my list.
Yeah, but it's like one of the softer ones.
Yeah, that's why I wrote down. So I was like, this one is like the one that
isn't every man's.
Yeah, it definitely aligned more with like my music vibes.
Yeah,
but yeah.
But honestly, whole album start to finish, I'd recommend every single song. The whole album's great.
So Modified, I was listening to it, and it kind of gave me like Bring Me the Horizon vibes. If you think of like Versailles Eve and stuff like that.
I like all that little bit of like hyper pop, like electronic sound.
Yeah, so I really liked it. I wrote that one down, and then the one that you did, I had Superstar as well because it was the Everman song, I guess, and so screw me. But I also had Paranoid. I know I wrote down it. I mean, it's not as heavy, so I figured it wouldn't make your top.
Well, I like I said, whole album start to finish, I'd recommend.
Yeah,
I mean, Dogma is just kind of like an intro song. It's not really a song, but
yeah,
the whole album. In Another Life with Courtney LaPlante, though, that one kind of just like I said, I like the whole album when it first came out, but that's the one most recent add to my library. I was like, oh yeah, this is actually like more solid than I remember. So
yeah. I'll say Black Sheep. That's
pretty heavy.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy, but it's actually pretty good. I do like that song. But all right, yeah. I do recommend that, like, from someone who does not like screaming. I did Beartooth, their album I did like actually a lot, and then Crowd the Empires is actually pretty solid.
Crowd the Empires has just been one of those bands that's always kind of been there.
Yeah,
in my music mix.
Yeah,
since I got into music.
Well, you brought up one of their songs because we did a Release Radar podcast. I don't even know.
It was Superstar.
It was Superstar? Yeah. Oh, nice.
Because I was being like, I don't even know who this guy is, and I Googled him while we were recording. I was like, oh yeah, the guy from Palais Royale.
Nice. Yeah.
It's that I remember, because I remember at that point you hadn't really even gotten into Palais Royale. I know we like know one or two of their songs, and you're like, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But now you're down, and now
I've broadened my horizons and deepened my knowledge of Palais Royale. So yeah. I would definitely second. That was a good pick as well. So all right. I know we both have some honorable mention.
Yeah.
I'll give mine real quick, because my honorable mention, I was just going to say Fall Out Boy, because like I wanted to include them in my list because they did do better than they have for the past couple albums.
True.
So, and they have songs that I do like. So we already talked about their album plenty, so I'll just say Fall Out Boy, you got props for me as well. They're both hosts.
6 ain't bad. Number 6 ain't
Yeah, both hosts from the premier Uneducated Music Podcast, giving you some props. That's pretty cool. So,
and my honorable mention is also something that we talked about on this show, but Logic's College Park album.
Yeah.
The only reason I couldn't rank it higher is because like all the skits and all the talking.
Yeah.
It kills the songs for me.
Because we talked about it, like it was supposed to be like the first song to the end song, like each song in order is supposed to be like a story, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I remember I played the one song with RZA at the Halo party the other night, and I completely forgot that it had like whole minute of talking at the end. I'm like, well, that killed the vibe, the party. But
yeah,
it's
an alright album. Like I know I said a million times during the album review, I'm like, this is just not my style of music.
Yeah.
So it's alright. And like a few of the songs,
the other thing about talking is like, that's like, who talks to each other like that? Like the whole the conversation just doesn't feel natural. Like they cuss like every other word. Like, I get it if you cuss, but it seems like middle school cussing.
Yeah.
And then like it just like, I don't know, just everything they said is so weird. The way they talk, like the way they make fun of each other on the album is just weird. But apart from that, I love Logic. So like, I ride with Logic, and
yeah,
I've listened to his music all the time, and I really like that album. So
you don't ride with him as hard this year, apparently.
Number 2. Sorry, my guy.
But we and you talked about I have a dishonorable mention. Paramore. I don't know if I listened to it. I listened to it because I'm like, this might like, because I found it just a couple of days ago. I was doing a drive home from Charleston, and so they were coming up in just like the day list or whatever. And I was like, I don't know any of these songs by Paramore. I'm like, this must be a new album. So I went and looked, and it in fact was, and it in fact sucks. It is like, just a not even sort of similar sound. I only listened to it once because I really didn't want to listen to it again. So maybe I need to give it a second listen.
Or not want to even listen to it.
I need to wait a little longer and listen to it again. And I was like, this is like, I was skipping songs before they were down. Like, I didn't even finish the album.
They've changed up.
Yeah, which, whatever. Like, I didn't expect like Misery's Business.
Yeah, we never tell people that. We've never preached that like bands have to stay the same and make all the same music, but we don't have to like it either.
Yeah, I did not like it at all.
Yeah,
it was gross. So I
didn't mind. Like they've definitely gotten a lot poppier over the years, and like I still liked them as they got popular, but recently, yeah, it's been hard to enjoy.
Yeah. So sorry, Paramore. I know you are also listening.
No, I assume all the bands that we're talking about today are in a room together.
Their ears are
listening to this.
Start talking about them.
Yeah. So, all right.
Yeah, you want to move into sign out with our recommend or song or dedications?
Yeah, I've got. So, I'll let you go first. I gave my.
All right. Well,
gave my albums first.
This one, actually, my song recommendation is off an album that you removed from your top 5.
Oh, really?
So you were gonna recommend this album. It's Anywhere But Here by Paris.
Nice.
Whatever that album was.
Yeah, that album was good.
I love that song.
Trophy Eyes took its place.
Yeah, it is. And that's a fair substitution.
Yeah.
Anywhere But Here, nice, slow, chill Paris song.
Yeah.
Because that whole album, like, bordered on, like, hyperpop, like, 100 Gex kind of sounds. But but, like, the other half had, like, really great songs. So I've had a couple other songs off that album saved for a while. But, like, 3 weeks ago, I gave it a re-listen before you even told me about it. And saved Anywhere But Here. So that's been a current jam for me.
Nice. So I've got another. I picked a new release this year. I know you like this song, "Dead End Friend" by 4 Year Strong. They released it because originally I thought we were gonna also do albums and songs, and this was gonna be my top pick for songs because I really like this song. I like the album artwork too, but I like the song is a really good song.
Yeah, it is
for sure. So
that's a band that doesn't change their sound and stays so solid.
Yeah, and their shows are fantastic.
Their shows are so great.
Yeah. So Dead End Friend by 4 Year Strong. That's my recommendation. So
there you have it.
There you have it, tutors.
Hope guys, this podcast doesn't sound too weird. We're sharing a mic right now, so
yeah. So 2 dudes with mic. All right. Tutors, thanks for tuning in this past year. We truly appreciate it. We do get a couple view listens every episode. So I appreciate everyone that's out there consistently supporting us. That's awesome. So we'll see y'all next year. Give these a listen. Tell us what you think. Tell us how we just revolutionized your New Year's. Listen to some of that Crowd the Empire at New Year's Eve party. There you go.
Guaranteed to get the crowd turned.
All right. This is Steven Schultz signing off for 2023.
And Rob Schultz signing off for 2023.
Y'all have a good New Year's. Thank you, tutors.